Welcome back to the garage project. I'm working on a bunch of different stuff in this video, and I don't film any of it very well, but I hope you'll stick around and watch, and maybe give me a thumbs up and maybe even consider subscribing. So thanks. Yesterday I put this stuff on the roof as a temporary underlayment, and today we're supposed to get some. There's actually a chance of a tornado today in our area, so it's supposed to really just pour like crazy. So today's going to be a test to see if the roof actually is going to stay dry, because as you see this morning I went and got all the 2x4s I've sawn. I think I have just enough, and I got setting up a saw stand here. I'm gonna start framing the walls in as best I can without getting wet. So that's the plan this morning. Well, you're right in noticing that the studs don't line up. I tried to save some stud or so, because I know I'm short, by adjusting the lower ones, and then I knew it was going to mess up the top one. But the sheathing on the upper triangle there is going to go at a 45-degree angle, and the siding and the sheathing down here will be horizontal. So the whole thing is not going to match, and I don't think it matters. I mean, it's a visual thing, it's not a structural thing. So I probably could have lined them up to make everybody happy, but it's hot out and I just did it. I don't think it's going to matter. I'm hoping to paint it all white anyway, to all kind of disappear. Anyways, there you have it. That's my excuse. this video probably should have been putting the metal roof on the building, but the metal roof isn't coming till tomorrow, so I decided to start working on the garage doors. Not actually the garage door openings, framing them in. Now, I've never framed in a garage door opening. When the concrete guy poured these frost walls, I said I want a 10-foot door, so he made the openings 10'3". I actually went and measured my dad's garage because I have nothing to reference to, and so if I figure if I add 1.5 inches on each side, that'll get me in the ballpark. It'll be exactly 10 feet on the inside. I also went on YouTube and looked at a bunch of videos, and some of them were helpful and some of them weren't. But what they did say, which seems to make sense, is you really want the inside of the garage framing to be flush with the concrete. That way there's room for the track and the sensor down here. I thought about framing it out with a 2x6, but then you end up, the track bracket and sensor run into this stem wall here. So I'm going to use an 8-inch piece on here. Now, what we have decided to do was, out of the 3 doors here, we're going to make the 2 outside ones set up for a 9-foot high door, and the center one we're going to actually make, I haven't even decided yet, 10 or 11 feet high. It's going to be taller. So we'll have the option, and other people down the road will have the option to drive bigger stuff in the building. So let me take you over to the sawmill. I'll show you what my grand scheme is. So the beams that are on the forks right now, that one has red rod in it. The second or the third one is actually came from the sawmill shed that collapsed, and the one on the far side is just it's really not that pretty. It has a little bit of a sweep to it, and my plan is to actually saw them into like they're 8 inches wide. I'm going to saw them to like 3.5 inches thick, or 3 inches thick, and that'll give me the 6 vertical pieces to start roughing in the garage door opening. So let's start up the sawmill and resaw the stuff, put it to use. It's just sitting around. All right, we end up with a 2-inch 2x8 on here with a lot of red rod in it, but I'll be able to use that for something. And then we end up with these also have some red rod in them, but they're so little, they're not really supporting any weight, and I think that they're good enough. I'm going to use them in the garage. Seems like a waste not to use them. So that one you can see came from the sawmill shed. It's got the scarf on the end. We're going to do the same with those, cut those into 3x8s, and we'll bring them over to the garage. Well, there we go. I didn't even have to go to the lumber yard. We've got 3x8s. We have 6 of them from beams that were on the previous projects, and now they're going to go into the garage. I realized I was missing some footage, so I'm back out here at the garage. I didn't show any of the installing of these 3x8s because the day I put those in, it was raining and misting, and yeah, so we got, you can see there's 1.5 inches here in the opening, so the opening ends up being, I think, 10 inches, and every opening has got a 3x8 delineating the width. I don't know if you can see up there because of the sun, but we got the window frame opening framed out, and so the right hand side is not completed, but it'll look just like this. The middle door will be higher, and the upper window in the middle will also be higher. Guys, I put up a temporary piece up there just to mock up what the roof will look like, but it's actually too small. I think I'm gonna make it stick out a little further. Oop. That's what it looks like. All right, I've started insulating the roof. I put on that underlayment stuff. It's almost a waste of money because I overlapped it, stapled it down. It still leaked, but yesterday we had I don't know, we must have got 2 inches of rain in a half an hour or less, and it blew horizontally, and I guess it was worth it to put it on. It kept some of the building dry, but I mean, if I had, yeah, anyways, I don't know if you can see it way over there. There's the jump plane. There's an airport that has skydivers, and they're flying. It's the weekend. They're flying and jumping out of the sky. Anyway, back to the roof. So I'm putting on 2 inches of foam insulation, and I got the starter strip here cut at an angle so that I can put the fascia on. And I'm just gonna put a row of this, a row of 2-inch 2x2s, and just keep going all the way up the roof. And there you have it. And then hopefully later today we're gonna put the high temperature ice and water shield on top of this, and tomorrow we're gonna put the metal over that. not too many wrinkles on that run. And I'm pretty much on the snap line, so we're just gonna go get another roll and keep going up the roof. All right, I got it all done. All the ice and water shield is on. And it's all insulated. And that was the goal today, is to get to this point, because tomorrow I have a friend coming over to help me put metal on, and I don't want to be messing with anything else. I just want to do metal. So we should be in good shape to get the metal roof on tomorrow. Reason why I'm using this ice and water shield is because this is surface mounted metal roofing, or ag panels, or whatever you want to call it. And the screws, basically we're punching a whole bunch of holes through all the metal. So to compensate for that, this is kind of self-sealing roofing. So this is the system we used on the barn, and the barn doesn't leak at all. So I think that was a good test, and for the 2 winters it's been through and have had no problem. So I think this is going to give us a long-lasting watertight roof that's already insulated. We now have a roof that is watertight. Woohoo! All right, it's been 3 or 4 days since I put the metal on, and had a friend come over and help me, and it was blazing hot, and we got it done in 5 hours. And I didn't film anything because I just wanted to get it done and get off the roof, because we're being blinded. And then we've had it just rain since then, so I haven't been up here to film anything. But the roof is all on. We did it in 2 sections because it was just too long to actually put up in one piece. And I still have got the edge pieces to put on, but I've got to finish the soffit down at the bottom and the fascia all up at the top. And it went pretty well. I had the mark out with a pencil so that we could not screw into the foam. And had all these screws. There are 2 that over there, when the first sheet we got started on, that actually went into the foam, but I think they'll be okay. Let's go down here. So building ended up being a little not square, and instead of, I ordered the exact number of sheets, and instead of trimming the first one, which would have straightened out the bottoms here, then I would have been short on metal. And I figured nobody's ever going to see this in the back of the building, and the stuff in the front is way up high. It's just a visual thing. It's not structural. All right, the next part of this is I'm going to put a fascia on here and some kind of a soffit, and I'm going to actually insulate up in there. And then this wall here will be ready for sheathing and insulation. And if we have money, we're going to put the same metal probably up 8 feet or so, because the snow is just going to pile up back here, and I don't want it up against the metal, up against the wood siding. I'd rather have metal on here. Even if the metal is only 6 feet high, that would be okay. So just decided to start raining. Though I can see blue sky over there, and blue sky most places. Anyways, today I'm going to start actually working on, I finally got to the point where I could start working on the sheathing on the outside of the garage. It's been, I don't know, lots and lots of steps to get to this point. Yesterday it was really hot. I didn't film it, but I got the soffit. I got the soffit all done. The final row of screws on the metal roof done. I put some blocking on the ends of the rafter tails. You can see the 2-inch insulation in between each one of them. And I got the fascia and soffit all on. And then I took down all the staging. And that was like, finally. Finally a relief. Now I can actually start on something that's on the ground and is relatively easy, simple. And that's putting on just cutting boards and nailing them on. But there is a pile of boards to do out here. And I can't decide whether I set up out here. If it's gonna rain on me, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Do I set up out here with a chop saw, or do I cut them with a skill saw? I still don't know what's the solution. I think I'm gonna go in the garage and wait for this little rain shower to pass, and then we'll make a decision of, do I start here or on the side of the building? So what I've decided to do while the rain shower passes is to start working through this pile of boards here and just trimming up one end of every board and stacking them into the appropriate widths, so that I can just take them right outside, and one end's pre-cut, and just measure and cut the other end with a skill saw. Because of these straps and the screw heads, I'm, as you can see, I've marked them out on the back of the board, and this is how we're going to deal with that. the camera stand, the tripod's in the way. Otherwise, it'd be a lot easier to do this. All right, this is what I got done on a Sunday afternoon. It's just about, we're having a giant thunderstorm coming at us, so I had to clean up quickly. And I didn't quite get to finish, but I guess I'm done for the day. All right, there we have it. We got another like 20 inches. I'm not going to sheathe the top because it's already got sheathing on it, and looks pretty good. So that's what it looks like on the inside. We're getting there. That wall there is next, but first I got to get that little bit up there finished. That's where we're at. I'm busy starting a couple other projects for work, and I haven't really filmed anything else. So I'll give you an update on that stuff when seems like I've got something to film, which hopefully will be soon. All right, thanks for watching. The garage is kind of on a standby situation now that there is a roof on it. Even though the wind still blows in, wind and rain still blow in on the sides, at least the roof is on. I'm going to try and work on this when I get a chance, like the weekend, and see what I can get done. All right, thanks for watching, and see you on an upcoming video. Thanks.